Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1 for this, our weekly news video. The season may be over, but there's still news aplenty as we head towards the end of 2024. Coming up in this video, we're going to have a little bit of coverage on the postseason test, some more news about Cadillac. The official entry list for F1 in 2025 has been confirmed. There's a few interesting things on there that we need to take a look at. And also last night was the FIA prize-giving awards ceremony thing. So we're going to look at that as well. Before we get into that, remember to like and subscribe. And a huge shout out to our members, Dakota, The Joyous James, Robin Myers, Cinnamon Strudel, and Jack Hawk. If you want to become a member, click the link in the description right now. You get your little shout outs in the video. You get videos early, including our advent calendar that we're doing right now. You can see every video of the advent calendar right now if you're a member. You also will have access to every video that goes up early. There'll be one going up very soon, actually. This Friday's video will be going up within the next 24 hours for the members. So, there you go. Let's talk about the postseason test, though, because this happened Monday, Tuesday, I think it was, back in Abu Dhabi. So each team can have two drivers in the postseason test. One of them must be a young driver, aka someone who has done less than 2 F1 races, and the other can be whoever you want. A lot of the teams use this time, if they're having a new driver to come in, they will use that time to have that driver take part in the postseason test. Now, originally the plan was that Lewis Hamilton was going to participate in this postseason test for Ferrari, but that was shot down relatively quickly by Mercedes, who had him tied up in some sponsor stuff. If you see him on Instagram this week, he's been all over the place, saying goodbye to Petronas, then going to other places, and then back to Brackley to say goodbye to the team. I think that was yesterday. So Lewis Hamilton's been all over the place, saying goodbye to everyone in Mercedes, so he did not take part in the postseason test for Ferrari, but we did get a few drivers who did go to their new teams this year. Now, the interesting thing about the postseason test is if you are going to a new team for next year, technically, you still are contracted to the team you're currently at. So, for example, Carlos Sainz. He's been driving for Ferrari this year. He will move to Williams next year. But technically, he is still a Ferrari driver until the 31st of December. So legally, he is not allowed to wear Williams' sponsors because he's still connected to the Ferrari team. So what we see a lot of the time from drivers in the postseason test is them wearing these kind of blank racing suits. Their helmets will have no sponsors on them. So that's what we kind of see here. I'll show you pictures in a second. But maybe, for example, and honestly, a purely hypothetical situation, maybe you race for a team, I don't know, Alpine, and maybe for some reason they fired you with one race to go in the season. If that was to happen and you were moving to a new team, off the top of my head, Haas, it would mean that you are now allowed to wear anything that you wanted because you're not a contracted driver anymore. So maybe if that was to happen, we would see for the first time a driver in a race suit and clothing from that team. Yes, purely hypothetically. Let's have a look at some pictures, everybody. Here we go. This is Carlos Sainz in the Williams. So that we get to see these drivers for the first time in their new habitats, their new cars. So we can see here, this is Sainz again in the Williams, the purely white race suit with his name there, the helmet, which is just I quite like these. You don't see many helmets without sponsors on them. So, the 55, more subtle, the Spanish flag on the back with the Chile, but yeah, a bit more subtle from there. Now here we have a picture that someone has taken, obviously, from the hotel in Abu Dhabi, and you can't really see it too well, but here is the Santander logo, just above the number 55, because Santander, who were sponsoring Ferrari, have also moved with Carlos Sainz to Williams. I'm not sure if Sainz and Santander are connected, or if it's just purely a coincidence. I think Santander might be a Spanish bank, actually, so who knows? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but yes, Santander and Carlos Sainz, first time being seen on the Williams ahead of 2025. A few other photos here. Nico Hülkenberg with the Sauber team. We also got pictures like this, where we see the back of the pits. The number 27, of course, for Nico Hülkenberg. 98 for Gabriel Bortoleto. But, as we will reveal later, Gabriel Bortoleto will not be running the number 28 in 2025. We'll have a look at that in a little bit. And as I previously hinted, here is Esteban Ocon in full Haas attire. No blank stuff for him, as he has been fired by Alpine. So he is in the full Haas attire here, looking forward to next year with the team. Also, the number 31 was seen around the back of the Haas pits for Esteban Ocon. And I think this is a photo of him in the car there. Proper helmet as well, not a blank one. Full-on sponsors and everything. So, Haas making moves towards 2025. We did see Bortoleto in here as well. Has the number 98, as I said, that won't be his race number. He also had the blank suit and the sponsorless helmet here. And I don't think this is the helmet he's been running in F2 this year either. I think a little bit of a different one for him. But yeah, he was testing the car as well. What was very interesting, though, as we head into 2025, as we know, most of the drivers are sorted. Apart from, of course, the Red Bull mess. And at the minute, we have Verstappen and Perez confirmed for the Red Bull, but Perez is on shaky ground. And for the Racing Bulls, there is Yuki, who's confirmed, and then the second seat is to be confirmed, and we'll see more on that in a little bit. But there's all these question marks of what's going to happen there. Will Perez stay? Will Perez go? If Perez was to go, who would replace him? But for the first time ever, here is Yuki Tsunoda in a Red Bull car. Yuki Tsunoda taking part in the Red Bull portion of the post-season test. So, does that suggest he's going to be in the Red Bull? Who knows with that team? But Yuki Tsunoda was testing the car for 2025. See, like I said before, you have one young driver, then you have one of your regular drivers, or a driver who has done more than two Formula 1 race weekends. And with Yuki and with the guys who've done more than two, they do the Pirelli tyre test. So it's more testing of the tyres, but also for people like Sainz, Hulkenberg, or Ocon, whoever it might be, it's also, getting used to your new team, getting to work with people for the first time, getting the feel of the car for the first time, getting the feel of how their system kind of works. And we have got some numbers here. I mean, realistically, the lap times don't really matter because the cars will massively change between now and Australia, the first race of the year next year. So, Charles Leclerc topped the times, but realistically, that doesn't mean much. As with pre-season testing, the big thing is the amount of laps that they ran. And you can see here, Leclerc had 134, Carlos Sainz on 146. Liam Lawson for the Racing Bulls, I think, had the most with 159. Oh, sorry, Vesti had 55. Carlos Sainz, though, reports coming out about him, about how it's hard-working he was and refused to take a lunch break because he just wanted to be in the car as much as possible, gave really good feedback. So Sainz coming into the Williams team at the minute and really just kind of putting his mark on it straight away, showing them how hard he's willing to work to get them back up towards the front of the grid. If that will happen or not, we'll have to wait and see, but I did see a stat on Twitter this week that every team Carlos Sainz has joined, when he has left, they have been higher in the championship than when he joined. So hopefully Williams will follow that trajectory as well. I think one of the big stories for next year is going to be Sainz versus Albon, because Albon has been the face of that team now since 2022 when Russell left and Albon came in, and now Sainz is going to come in. I think Sainz is one of those guys who is very underrated. And I do think he might wipe the floor with Albon a little bit. So I think that'll be an interesting one to watch from there. But yeah, Sainz putting his measure down on the Williams team almost immediately. Let's move on now from the post-season test, because news come out about Cadillac F1 team for 2026, that Ferrari will be officially supplying their engines in a multi-year contract with the team. Now, I think this has been heavily rumoured already, so not a huge shock. What's quite interesting is I saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before, in terms of company house and the public names and all that kind of stuff, Andretti Formula 1 team has officially now changed its name to Cadillac Formula 1 team. So everything that was Andretti is now Cadillac. The rumours, of course, this time last year, was that Cadillac were going to be supplied by Renault engines, but the Renault team is not even supplied by Renault engines anymore, so of course that went out the window. So another manufacturer here for Ferrari, and, another American one for Ferrari. Both Haas and Cadillac being supplied by Ferrari engines. So the dream of the Cadillac F1 team becomes more and more real every single day. Now, here's something interesting to show you, because yesterday, the official entry list for the 2025 F1 World Championship came out. Here it is. There's some here which, will not surprise you. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris will be driving for McLaren. Verstappen and Perez will be driving for Red Bull. Well, maybe Perez not. Of course, that is a question mark. Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. Now, here, it says, to be confirmed. That's our one driver there who we have not yet confirmed. But what we have officially confirmed now is the racing numbers of some of our rookies, which is very interesting. So firstly, Kimi Antonelli will be number 12. We'll have Jack Doohan as number 7. Number 7, which was Kimi Raikkonen's number when this whole new number system came out. Ollie Behrman, oh, my head's blocking it. 1 second, I'll get rid of the webcam momentarily. Ollie Behrman will be number 87. We've known that for a little while now. But the new news, everyone, Gabriele Bortoleto, the Formula 2 and Formula 3 champion, is number 5. Number 5, of course, which was ran by Sebastian Vettel since the new rules and stuff came out about the driver numbers. Now, I've seen some people being a bit upset that Vettel's number is now taken by someone else. Of course, the rules are if you are out of Formula 1 for 2 years, your number becomes available and anyone can take it. Sebastian Vettel has been out of Formula 1 for 2 years, so it's his new number. Anyone can take it, and Gabriele Bortoleto has taken it. From what I've seen, though, I kind of understand where people are coming from, because, that Vettel and the number 5 were iconic, but also, you know what? Nigel Mansell and 5 were iconic, 20 years before Sebastian Vettel and 5 was iconic, and Vettel took that. And I think, certain numbers I'd understand. Like, when Lewis Hamilton retires, they should retire number 44, because that number is so synonymous with Lewis Hamilton, and also, is it pretty much every championship he's won? The first one, no. Maybe the second one, no. But the remaining 5 have all been won with the number 44. So that is a synonymous number with him, and I think when he retires, they should retire that number, and no one should be allowed to touch it ever again. With Vettel in 5, his first world title was with number 5, but the remaining 3 were all with number 1. Now, he didn't get number 5 again until 2015 when the new rules came out anyway. So the Vettel 5 thing, I think is fine. I think it's fine that Bortoleto takes the number 5. Would you like some number stats, though, here? I've got it on the number 5. Sebastian Vettel does have the most races with the number 5, with 181. Nigel Mansell is in second with 93. Fernando Alonso is third with 76. Then Schumacher with 65. And Mario Andretti with 48. So some big names here that Gabriele Bortoleto will be joining. In terms of number 7, Kimi Raikkonen has the most there with 176. Then John Watson with 91. Carlos Reutemann 41. Michael Schumacher 39. Mika Hakkinen 34. Then number 12, which is Antonelli's new number. The record holder for that at the minute is Ayrton Senna with 64. Of course, Ayrton Senna won the 1988 Formula 1 World Championship with the number 12 on his car. Nigel Mansell has got 59 races with the number 12. And it's Johnny Herbert, Jarno Trulli, and Felipe Nasr. And then finally, number 87, which will be Ollie Behrman's new number. That has only been used by 7 drivers in F1 history, and no one has ever used it more than once. So there is some number facts for you there. Let me know. I think we see it in football where teams will retire numbers for legends of their teams. As I said, 44 should be retired when Hamilton retires. I think the Vettel 5 thing, he didn't do enough with the number 5 to deserve a retirement of the number 5. So I think we're okay from there. Oh, also something I didn't show that I should have. Here we go. Let's pull this back up. If we go to the Racing Bills, as I call them, or the Racing Bulls, last year they were known as Visa Cash App RB. This year they are known as Visa Cash App Racing Bulls Formula 1 team. So RB is out, Racing Bulls is in. Although we were told that RB always stood for Racing Bulls, now it's officially standing as Racing Bulls for next year, unless, of course, they change their name again between now and then. So there you go. That's the official entry list for 2025. So last night was the FIA awards ceremony, so all the champions are now officially the champions, because that's the rule, that you're not the official champion until you are given the championship at the prize-giving ceremony. Honestly, I think that's a bit of a crap rule, and is really there just so FIA can have this big gala at the end of the year. I think, personally, when a driver becomes world champion, you should give them the championship. Like, imagine if in Vegas last year, when Max won the title, if we had the photos of him on, there with the actual Drivers' Championship. I think that's, what every other sport in the world does. You can still have your little party at the end of the year, but I think that should be how it is. Anyway, it wasn't just the prize giving last night, it was also the night that Max Verstappen does his community service. So it was in Rwanda, the prize giving ceremony last night, and this is a statement from the FIA. He will undertake some work with junior competitors as part of the grassroots development program organised by the Rwanda Automobile Club. The activity will involve an FIA affordable cross car which was built locally in Rwanda by the RAC from blueprints provided by the FIA. Design blueprints for the Level 2 category affordable cross-car project have been delivered to the global network of 147 national sporting authorities. So Max Verstappen is out of the doghouse for swearing in that press conference. It's sorted. It's sorted from there. Also at the FIA the FIA awards party thing, there was also another award given out, which was Rookie of the Year, which was given to Gabriel Bortoleto, who won the F2 Championship in his rookie year. So I agree with that one there. In terms of other awards that were given out, they have had some awards over the past few years that they've now dropped, including FIA, was it Personality of the Year or something like that? So Personality of the Year, but that hasn't existed since 2021. There's the FIA Action of the Year, which, according to the Wikipedia page, this year was given to Sergio Perez for overtaking Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso at the Chinese Grand Prix. I don't remember that happening. I've seen a clip of him overtaking Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz at the Chinese Grand Prix in a very Frugos Hamilton type move. So I'm wondering if they've got the wrong Ferrari driver there. Either way, if that's the Action of the Year, I think there's more memorable ones, but anyway, Rookie of the Year, as I said, Gabriel Bortoleto has already got it. And another award that has been dropped for this year, which is quite funny because it has been there for the last 3 years, is Outstanding Official of the Year. 2024 had no Outstanding Official of the Year. So there you go. Right, that is the news there. As I said, Advent Calendar is out all week. Yesterday, the driver ratings for the year went out. So we added up every score we've given the drivers throughout the year, ranked them from worst to best. Of course, not everyone agrees with my rankings, but it wouldn't be a Stop and Go F1 driver rankings if everyone agreed now, would it? So that is there on the channel if you want that. We'll have videos every Friday until the new F1 season, so subscribe for all of that. And news videos every Saturday, as long as there is some news to talk about, of course. But until next time, have a good one. I'll see you later. Goodbye.